You're very welcome back to Ireland Day. And fashioning the latest hairstyles is something that has been happening for generations, but can some styles do more harm than they're worth?
Here to share some insight into the strain some styles can have on our locks is trichologist Claire Fulham. Good morning, Claire.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Now, Claire, I love them, but like a lot of things that we love, they're bad for us. These slicked back buns and hair, like high ponies, they can be bad for our scalps.
They can be. So like ballerinas got the blame for so long. Then I think Sporty Spice got the blame for so long, you know, in the 90s and stuff. And now, of course, like nearly everybody is like, you know, doing the style with the slick back look. And it looks beautiful on some. I couldn't do it look like Phil Mitchell, you know, that kind of way. But, you know, it's getting so popular with so many generations. But if you think about the tension it's creating around the scalp, particularly around the hairline, which is vulnerable as it is anyway, if you're pulling and causing traction there, of course it's going to lead to, well, it absolutely will lead to traction alopecia.
What is traction alopecia?
So traction alopecia it's kind of self-inflicted, which is unlike most alopecias, you know. So traction alopecia directly comes from the overuse of heavy hair extensions or slicking back the hair too much, you know. And it doesn't mean that if you wear this twice a week to college or once a week to work, you know, that you're going to get traction alopecia, but repeated tension on any part of the body is going to cause, you know, some sort of kind of, you know, like, I suppose a weakening of the hair follicle a little bit. So, and what's really scary about traction alopecia is that it's irreversible, you know. So once it happens, we can't get it back because it's actually like a scar. So if you think about any scar that you have in the body, like a scar from on your leg, your arm, hair doesn't grow through a scar, does it not, right? So if you scar that area up there, there's really no bringing it back. So prevention is better than cure. I suppose that's why we're talking about it today, to make sure that people understand that if we don't look after that area over time, it could cause scarring, and that means permanent hair loss.
And what are some of the signs of traction alopecia? Like, can you catch it early?
You can, absolutely. Okay. So obviously a sign would be that your hair is thinning around those areas. That's a really big sign, and that's a sign to do something now. You know, don't wait 6 months, don't wait 4 months. You know, try and kind of loosen your hairstyles, wear your hair down as much as possible. Or just like when you come in, like you take your bra off, take your hair down, you know, that kind of way. Make sure you let the follicles kind of breathe and move a little bit, you know. But there's also as well, like, especially if you get hair extensions, ask your stylist to look at your extensions, to look at your scalp. Like a lot of it, like it looks like acne, to be honest. And that's like inflammation in the follicles. So if you have a lot of spots around the side of your scalp for where you're slicking your hair back or where your extensions are sitting, your stylist should really try and spot that and kind of give you the heads up there and say, do you know what, we might avoid this area for now, or we might try to give you a few tips around that, you know.
Is there anything you can do to help it if there are signs before it gets too serious?
I would say act straight away. So contact a trichologist if you're worried about, you know, traction alopecia 100%. So as I said, the signs would be hair loss. The signs would be spotting, like acne on the scalp as well. So doing something about it ASAP would be really, really good idea, you know.
Okay, you mentioned hair extensions there. I used to have hair extensions and they ruined my hair. Now, half that might have been because I decided to take them out myself with no professional help.
Oh, yeah.
The opposite. I've had them for 15 years and it's actually saved my hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not always bad news when it comes to hair extensions.
It depends who's putting them in and who's doing them.
And it depends on the person as well. Like, definitely taking them out yourself isn't a good idea.
That wasn't the wisest move.
No, I lost half my hair in the process.
You know, and it's about as well, like, you know, the application. It's about how you care for them. There's a lot of, like, you know, work that goes into wearing hair extensions, but there's no doubt, and it depends as well what level your hair's at the moment. If your hair's very, very fine and thin, hair extensions are going to help it. There's no doubt about that, you know. Whereas it depends, like, hair extensions do put pressure on the hair. There's no doubt about it. They will put pressure on the hair, no matter who applies them, no matter how good we're doing it. It's a constant pulling at the hair follicle, you know. But like that, some women, it changes their lives and it gives them so much confidence, you know. So I always say go into it just making sure that you're ready to commit, you know, and you're ready to look after them as much as possible. And also your stylist is educated enough to know when they can see signs to actually kind of pull back a little bit and apply them differently, or give you a scalp serum and kind of, you know, point in the right direction.
And you have some products to talk us through here that can help.
Yes, absolutely. We might start with Bye Bye Build Up just up the top there, right? There's no point, the mint one. Yeah. That's a scalp exfoliator and you use that once a week. It's made here in Ireland, down in County Wexford. And there's no point in doing anything to your scalp or hair if you don't exfoliate your scalp. So please, 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 everybody watching this, teenagers, men, especially if you're wearing those slick back looks, you're not, like, your scalp isn't breathing, do you know? So you pop this all over a dry scalp once a week, and then your follicles are going to be in so much better health if you do that. So also it's going to allow everything else to penetrate more. Does that make sense?
So you don't have to rub it in and rinse it off, you just dab it on?
You pop it all on, leave it there for 10 minutes, and then into the shower, rinse and shampoo. So it's like a pre-shampoo treatment, you know. Everyone should be doing that. That will really, really help reduce inflammation as well. You've got an energising shampoo there. Like if you have any
caffeine or something in it?
Caffeine, rosemary extract, like all those natural stimulators. Like when you use a volume shampoo, a shine shampoo, a repair shampoo, blood flow is going up to the scalp 100%. It's like a spin class for the scalp.
Yeah.
If you use an energising shampoo, the blood will go up there for longer. Does that make sense?
So it's like how that works.
Yeah.
So it actually, I suppose if blood flow is better, it's better for your skin, and if your skin is better, your scalp is better, and your hair follicles are better.
So if you even just like don't have hair loss, but even if you just fine thin hair, you need to look after it. You need to make sure that an energising shampoo is a really good way to, you know, just keep kind of things tipping along, you know. So that's a gorgeous one. Doesn't dry out the hair. A lot of energising shampoos can dry out the hair. So that one from Simone is a really good one.
What have we got up next, Claire?
This one is a capillary treatment, okay? A capillary treatment. So it's going to open up all your capillaries to receive as much blood flow into the follicle as possible. Okay, so you have to remember that hair loss actually starts deep down within the scalp. So not on top of the scalp, you know, where we can see. It actually starts all the way down here, you know, I'll pick this up, in the actual follicle itself.
So this is where the capillaries are basically along here.
Yeah. So what that spray will do, okay, is open those receptors up a little bit. So if you feel like I wear my hair, I'm a guard, I work in a kitchen, I'm always wearing my hair up tight, a really good idea would be exfoliate, to use an energising shampoo and put something like that capillary treatment in twice a day everywhere, just like along that hairline. And it's just going to make sure that all of those, you know, everything's working as it should, you know. But that will try and grow your hair as much as possible, which is handy, isn't it?
Great stuff. And then you have some... Is this more capillary stuff, or is this the scalp?
That's like a weekly treatment, a very intense treatment. So again, you'd put that in once a week before your shower. Do you know that kind of way? But again, that's going to create blood flow up on the scalp as well. That's for kind of if you really see signs of hair loss. If you feel like, okay, my scalp has thinned a lot, I'm going to lean on something like that.
Can you take anything like supplement-wise that can help your hair?
100%. What I would say is I'm a bit controversial in terms of supplements, right? Like I only think you should supplement for things that you need. So get a blood test, allow the doctor to say, like Elaine, you're low in B12, you're low in iron, and supplement and target those things. You're just going to get better results. If you take a supplement and you don't need half the list, you're just paying for expensive weed then, really, aren't you? Do you know that kind of way? So just be really careful, do you know, with supplements. I like this one because it's cheap and cheerful. It has everything. This is fluorescein. It has everything that your hair needs. You might need all of that, but it's not going to break the bank. I think it's something like €29 for a 3-month supply. So it's nice and cheap and cheerful. Not going to, you know, be bopping into the credit union and all that kind of stuff to try and keep that going.
And now we have here, and I'm not sure if this is a myth or not, but I fell for the whole silk pillowcase.
No, it's not a
trend.
myth.
It's not a myth. It actually does help your hair. Thank God. Didn't want to be that Egypt, but silk bobbins as well help.
Silk bobbins as well. So if you're tying your hair back, you know, really, really tight with elastics, you're going to get yourself into an awful lot of trouble, you know. So making sure you're using something that's kind to the hair as much as possible, you know, and silk or satin will do that for you. And that's a gorgeous Irish company, the Bell Brush down in Galway. So absolutely.
We're supporting Irish as well.
Supporting Irish as well.
Claire, thank you so much
for
joining us
today. Thank you, guys.
Now we'll head over to Martin.
Thank you.
I know, that's it from us for this morning. I mean, where did that 3 hours go? I mean, you can catch up on today's episode, or indeed any episode of Ireland AM, simply by signing up for free. Yes, it costs you nothing. Get onto Virgin Media Play. Scan the QR code on screen. You'll get all the necessary details there.
Now, coming up on tomorrow's Ireland AM, she's the author whose Love Island satire has gotten her the honour of Good Morning America's Book of the Month. Aisling Rawle will be joining us.
We're also looking behind the scenes of Ireland's first ever all-singles wedding with the organisers behind what might be the sweetest social experiment of the year.
We're actually talking to the single bride. Aren't we? Yes.
Yeah.
To celebrate the new Jurassic World film, we've got some real-life dinosaurs in the studio, or at least their descendants.
But you're talking about me. Anyway, all that plus the new sport and weather you're waking up to. Ireland AM is back tomorrow from 9.
We will see you then.
Yeah,
when
I wonder...
one of us will be happy.
Yeah, someone's going to be disappointed, guys.
Yeah.
You'd be happy for me if you won, wouldn't you? Isn't there a bit of Cork in you?
Yeah, a little bit.
You know, a little bit.
Yeah, small bit
There you
now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Go on, the Rebels. You can do it. Yay.
Go on.
And if you don't, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be running away in shame.
See you.
Bye.
Come on.